Dear fighter of life. Yes, you. The one who's been through silent struggles. The one who lies awake at night wondering, is this all there is? Life is not just about waking up, eating, working, and sleeping. It's not about simply existing. It's about living. Every second is a gift. Every breath you take is a chance to do something meaningful. But here's the bitter truth. Most people waste it. They waste it on fear, laziness, distractions, regrets, and waiting for the right moment that never comes. You don't need permission to start. You don't need perfect conditions. What you need is a reminder. Life doesn't wait, and neither should you. So today, we're going to dive deep into 10 powerful realizations that can shake you awake and pull you out of that slow, quiet trap of wasting your life. Ready to feel the fire again? Let's begin. Point 1. Stop living on autopilot. Have you ever had those days where you wake up, go to school or work, scroll through your phone for hours, eat something without thinking, and then suddenly, it's nighttime? The whole day passed, and you barely remember any of it. You didn't face a tragedy. You didn't fail a big test. But here's the truth. You also didn't live that day fully. That right there is the danger of living on autopilot. Autopilot living is when your actions are no longer conscious. You follow the same patterns day after day. You wake up at the same time, go to the same places, interact with the same people in the same ways, and react to problems in the same habitual manner. Life becomes a loop. Not because you don't have dreams, but because you've stopped noticing time slipping through your fingers. And here's the painful part. Most people don't ruin their lives with one giant mistake. They ruin it slowly, by wasting little moments every single day. They scroll mindlessly. They say, I'll start tomorrow. They avoid the hard things. And by the time they realize how much time has passed, it's already too late to go back. The scary part? It feels normal. Everyone around you might be doing the same, stuck in routine, bored, uninspired. But just because something is common doesn't mean it's right. Living like this is like sitting in a beautiful car, on a straight road to your dreams, and never turning the key. You just sit there, engine off, waiting for a perfect moment that never comes. To break free from this, you need awareness. You need to wake up, mentally and emotionally. That means starting to ask yourself the hard questions. Why am I doing this every day? Do I feel alive or just busy? What did I love doing as a child that I stopped doing? Am I living the life I want or the life I settled for? Awareness is a form of self-respect. It's refusing to sleepwalk through life when you were born to create, build, inspire, and grow. The truth is, your future depends on what you do today, not what you plan to do someday. So, how do you stop living on autopilot? You don't need to change your whole life overnight. Just start small. Wake up 15 minutes earlier, not to check your phone, but to sit in silence and ask yourself, what matters today? Start journaling. Write down your thoughts, your regrets, your dreams. Writing is a mirror to your mind. Practice mindfulness. Whether it's through meditation, a walk in nature, or simply eating your food with full attention. Challenge your comfort zone. Every day, do one thing that scares you or makes you slightly uncomfortable. Growth doesn't come from ease, it comes from movement. And above all, stop waiting. Waiting for the right time is just fear dressed as logic. You don't need a big break. You need a bold step, even a tiny one. The life you dream of won't just show up. You have to build it piece by piece, day by day. Every time you choose awareness over routine, every time you pause and reflect, every time you take back control of your choices, you're rewriting your future. The world doesn't need more people just going through the motions. It needs you, awake, alive, and on fire for your purpose. So today, turn off the autopilot, grab the wheel. Your journey doesn't start tomorrow. It starts now. Point 2. Chase growth, not comfort. Let's be honest. Comfort feels good. It's warm, it's safe, and it's familiar. That's why we stay in the same job for years, even if it makes us feel empty. That's why we scroll through social media for hours, even though it brings no real joy. That's why we avoid difficult conversations, big dreams, and bold moves. Because comfort tells us, you're okay here. Don't risk it. But here's the hard truth. Comfort is a silent killer of potential. If you want to live a meaningful life, if you don't want to waste it, then you have to start choosing growth over comfort. And growth is uncomfortable. It means doing things you've never done before. It means feeling like a beginner, making mistakes, getting criticized, feeling fear, and doing it anyway. Look around at anyone you admire. Whether it's a successful entrepreneur, an inspiring teacher, a talented artist, or a strong leader. They didn't get there by choosing the easy path. They got there by embracing discomfort, by pushing themselves beyond what was safe. They weren't born extraordinary. They became extraordinary, one uncomfortable decision at a time. And no, this doesn't mean you need to torture yourself or be busy all the time. Growth isn't about hustle. It's about intentional discomfort. It's choosing the harder conversation over silence. It's choosing to start a new skill instead of watching another episode. It's choosing to try, even if you fail. Comfort gives you short-term pleasure, but it steals your long-term purpose. Growth may bring short-term pain, but it leads to long-term pride. Ask yourself, when was the last time I did something for the first time? What's something I've been avoiding because it feels uncomfortable? If I keep living like this for 5 more years, will I be proud of who I've become? If the answers scare you, that's a good thing. It means your soul is still awake. It means there's more inside you that wants to come out. So what does it look like to chase growth? It means signing up for that class even if you think you're too old or not good enough. It means talking to that person who inspires you, even if you're afraid of being judged. It means launching that project, recording that video, writing that book, even if it's messy in the beginning. It means allowing yourself to fail and realizing that failure isn't the opposite of success. It's part of it. Every time you step out of your comfort zone, you expand your capacity. You stretch your limits. You grow your confidence, your skill, your courage. It doesn't happen in a day, but it does happen with daily decisions. Most people live at a small box of routine their whole lives and call it safety. But true safety lies in strength. And strength only comes from struggle. So, don't pray for an easy life. Pray for the strength to handle a hard one. Because that's where greatness is built. Remember, your comfort zone might feel like home, but it's not your destiny. Your dreams live just outside it. They're waiting for you to take that first step. Growth is not a one-time event. It's a mindset, a habit, a choice. And every time you choose growth, you take a step toward becoming the person you were meant to be. So the next time you feel fear, that tightness in your chest, that hesitation in your heart, don't run. Lean in, smile at it. Say, "Thank you for showing me the way." Because fear often points to the very thing you need to do next. Choose growth, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. That's how you stop wasting your life and start living it fully. Point 3. Stop pleasing everyone. One of the most exhausting, soul-draining habits that silently destroys your potential is trying to please everyone. You smile when you're hurting. You say yes when your heart screams no. You dim your own light just so others don't feel uncomfortable around your shine. You carry the weight of expectations that were never yours to begin with. And why? Because you want to be liked. You want to avoid conflict. You want approval, validation, and to feel like you belong. But let me ask you this. How long will you keep betraying yourself just to make others comfortable? People-pleasing may feel kind on the surface, but in reality, it's a slow form of self-abandonment. When you always prioritize others' happiness over your own, when you stay silent to avoid judgment, when you go along with the crowd, even if it feels wrong inside, you're not being kind. You're being invisible. And over time, you start losing your identity. You forget what you love, what you believe in, what you want from life. You start molding yourself into a version that others approve of. And that's how you begin to waste your precious life. You weren't born to be everyone's favorite. You were born to be real, to be bold, to be you. And here's a truth you must accept. Not everyone will like you. No matter how good you are, how kind you are, how much effort you put in, some people will still criticize, misunderstand, or dislike you. And that's okay, because their opinion is not your responsibility. Your responsibility is to live in alignment with your values, your dreams, and your truth. When you stop pleasing everyone, something magical happens. You start attracting the right people, the ones who love you for who you really are, not for the mask you wear. You begin to speak your mind, chase your goals, and make decisions that truly serve your growth. You start living with integrity, not insecurity. You learn to say no, not because you're rude, but because your time, energy, and peace are priceless. Think about this. Every time you say yes to something that doesn't serve you, you're saying no to something that does. You're spending your limited energy on things and people that don't align with your soul. And time, once gone, never comes back. So if you keep living your life based on what others expect, you'll wake up one day and realize you never actually lived your life. You lived someone else's version of it. Breaking free from people-pleasing starts with boundaries. It starts with being honest with yourself. What am I tolerating that drains me? What am I afraid to say because I fear rejection? Where in my life am I showing up just to be accepted? These are hard questions, but they reveal the chains that are holding you back. And awareness is the first step toward freedom. Start small. Speak up when something doesn't feel right. Choose your own goals, even if others don't understand. Spend time alone to reconnect with your true self. Give yourself permission to disappoint others. Not out of disrespect, but out of self-respect. You're not a robot programmed to please. You're a human being with a heart, a voice, and a purpose. And remember, real love, from family, friends, or partners, doesn't require you to shrink. It celebrates your truth. If someone walks away because you set a boundary or followed your dream, let them. You're not losing love, you're losing illusion. And in its place, you gain authenticity. Stop living for applause. Live for purpose. Live for peace. Live for you. Because at the end of the day, it's your life. And the people who truly matter will love you, not for how well you please them, but for how boldly you love yourself. Point 4. Value your time. Like gold time. It's the most valuable thing you own, yet it's the thing we waste the most. Think about it. Money lost can be earned again. Opportunities missed may come back. But time? Once it's gone forever. And yet, we treat time like it's unlimited. We scroll for hours on social media, binge-watch shows we don't even love, waste days in overthinking, complaining, or just waiting for the right moment. But the truth is, every second that passes is a piece of your life that you'll never get back. So if you truly want to stop wasting your life, you must start treating your time like gold, because that's exactly what it is. Imagine if you had only 24 gold coins for the day, and each hour cost you 1 coin. Would you just throw them away carelessly? Would you spend them on things that didn't matter to you? Probably not. But that's exactly what we do with our time every single day. We give it away to people who don't value us. We spend it doing things we don't even enjoy. We let distractions steal it, and we call it normal. But in the end, it's not distractions that waste our time. It's our failure to prioritize what truly matters. One of the biggest mistakes people make is thinking, I'll have time later. Later becomes tomorrow. Tomorrow becomes next week. And next week becomes someday. But someday is not a day on the calendar. It's a myth. A lie we tell ourselves to feel safe while our dreams quietly die in the background. If you have something in your heart, a passion, a calling, a project, a relationship, don't wait. Act now, because the clock is always ticking. And your life is not a rehearsal. This is it, the real show. So how do you start valuing your time? First, become brutally honest about where your time goes. Track it, observe it. You'll be shocked to see how much of it disappears into things that don't serve your growth, like gossip, mindless scrolling, worrying about things beyond your control. Then start replacing those habits with meaningful ones. Read a book. Write your thoughts. Learn a skill. Talk to someone who uplifts you. Rest, but rest intentionally, not as a way to escape life. Protect your time like you protect your most prized possession, because it is. Say no to things that drain you. You don't owe everyone your availability. You don't have to attend every event, answer every message, or entertain every conversation. Every yes to something meaningless is a no to your purpose. Surround yourself with people who respect your time. People who inspire you to grow, who push you to be better, who don't just want to pass time with you, but build something meaningful with you. And most importantly, respect your own time. Show up for your goals. Stay committed to your routines. Be intentional with your mornings and protective of your nights, because your days are what your life is made of. Waste enough days, and you waste your whole life. Here's a powerful reminder. Your future self is watching you. 10 years from now, will they thank you for how you used your time today? Or will they regret all the moments you let slip away? You get to decide that. Right now. So don't just pass time. Invest it in learning, in growing, in loving, in building the life that excites you. Because at the end of the day, your time is not just about what you do. It's about who you become. And if you treat it with respect, it will reward you with a life of purpose, passion, and peace. Point 5. Learn to be alone without feeling lonely. In a world that never stops talking, moving, and demanding your attention, learning to be alone is one of the most underrated superpowers. We often confuse being alone with being lonely, but they are not the same. Loneliness is a feeling of emptiness. Being alone is a state of presence, with yourself, your thoughts, and your soul. And here's the truth. If you can't enjoy your own company, you'll forever chase others to fill that silence. You'll depend on people, noise, and distractions to avoid facing the one person who never leaves you. You. Most people are terrified of solitude. They need someone to text, something to scroll, some noise in the background. Anything but silence. But in that silence lies your truth. It's where you meet the real you, beyond titles, roles, or social masks. And if you never meet that version of yourself, you'll always be a stranger to your own life. Learning to be alone doesn't mean isolating yourself. It means becoming comfortable with your own presence. It means being able to sit in a room without reaching for your phone. It means going for a walk and noticing the world around you. It means talking to yourself with kindness, exploring your thoughts without judgment, and learning what truly matters to you. Not what everyone else says should matter. When you embrace solitude, something beautiful happens. You start to hear your inner voice more clearly. You discover your own values, goals, and dreams. Instead of just following the crowd, you stop seeking constant approval because you start giving it to yourself. You realize that peace isn't found in noise. It's found in stillness. You also become stronger emotionally. You stop clinging to toxic relationships just because you're afraid to be alone. You stop tolerating disrespect just to avoid silence. You begin to raise your standards because you're no longer afraid to walk alone. You understand that being alone is far better than being surrounded by the wrong people. And in that strength, you find freedom. Solitude is also the birthplace of creativity and clarity. Some of the greatest ideas, inventions, and insights were born in solitude. Not at a party, not in a crowd, but in quiet moments of reflection. Your mind needs that space. Your soul craves that pause. Don't be afraid to give yourself the gift of stillness. So, how do you start? Begin with small acts. Spend 10 minutes a day without any screens, just breathing or journaling. Go to a coffee shop or park alone and observe, without judgment. Take yourself on a solo date. Read, reflect, sit quietly. You'll be surprised how rich those moments become when you stop trying to escape them. And yes, at first it may feel uncomfortable. You may feel restless, anxious, or even a bit empty. That's okay. It's just the noise inside you settling down. Stay with it. Because the longer you sit with yourself, the deeper you connect with your inner world. And from that connection comes self-trust, self-love, and real confidence. The world will always try to convince you that being alone is something to fear, that you need to be connected all the time to feel worthy. But here's the secret. The deepest connection you'll ever have is with yourself. Strengthen that, and you become unshakable. So don't run from solitude. Walk into it. Listen. Learn, heal, grow. Because once you're okay being alone, you become unstoppable. You stop begging for attention and start commanding respect. You stop chasing people and start attracting the right ones. Because nothing is more magnetic than someone who's whole on their own. Remember, being alone is not a weakness. It's your power. And the day you embrace it, you stop wasting your life and start truly living it from the inside out. Point 6. Take responsibility for your life. One of the most powerful turning points in a person's life is the moment they stop blaming others and start taking full responsibility for everything they think, feel, say, and do. It may sound simple, but it's not. Most people spend years, sometimes their entire life, pointing fingers at parents, society, the economy, bad luck, or other people for where they are. But here's a hard truth. As long as you keep blaming others, you'll stay stuck. Because every time you blame something or someone outside of you, you're giving away your power. Life is unfair. Yes, people are cruel. Sometimes. You didn't choose your family, your childhood, or your starting point. Absolutely true. But what you do get to choose every single day is how you respond. What actions you take, what beliefs you carry, what kind of person you become despite everything you've faced. That's where your real power lies. And once you take responsibility, everything changes. Taking responsibility doesn't mean everything is your fault. It means you stop waiting for someone else to fix your life. You stop expecting the world to treat you fairly. You stop living as a victim of your circumstances and start living as the author of your story. It means you stop saying, "I can't," and start asking, "How can I?" That shift in mindset may seem small, but it's massive in practice. When you take full ownership of your life, you start seeing results. You become solution-focused instead of problem-focused. You stop making excuses and start making progress. You stop expecting handouts and start working for your future. You realize that your dreams aren't going to chase you. You have to chase them. And yes, the path may be harder for you than for others, but that's not a reason to give up. It's a reason to grow stronger. The most successful people in life aren't the ones who had it easy. They're the ones who refused to let their past define their future. They didn't wait for permission. They didn't complain endlessly. They said, "This is my life, and I'm going to build something out of it, no matter what." That mindset builds resilience, discipline, and confidence. 3 things that blaming never gives you. So how can you start taking more responsibility today? Start by being honest with yourself. Where are you not showing up fully? What habits are holding you back? What excuses are you repeating? Don't judge yourself. Just observe. Then choose one area of your life. Maybe your health, your mindset, your relationships, or your goals. And commit to taking ownership of it no matter what. That might mean waking up earlier, setting boundaries, reading instead of scrolling, or showing up even when it's hard. Every small step you take builds momentum. Also, learn to say this powerful sentence. This is on me. Not in a shameful way, but in an empowering way. It means you see yourself as capable, in control, a creator of your future, not a prisoner of your past. And when life throws you challenges, because it will, you respond with action, not excuses. Remember, taking responsibility isn't about being perfect. It's about being accountable. It's about refusing to let your past be your prison. It's about saying, "No one is coming to save me, so I'll save myself." That mindset is what separates those who drift through life from those who design it. Your life is your message. Every choice you make, every action you take, is a step in your story. So don't waste it blaming the world. Take back your power. Own your mistakes, your potential, your path. Because once you do, no one and nothing can stop you from becoming who you're meant to be. Point 7. Don't let fear make your decisions. Fear. It's something we all feel. It shows up before every big choice, every leap of faith, every new beginning. And that's okay. Fear, by itself, is not your enemy. It's a natural part of being human. The real danger comes when you let fear sit in the driver's seat. When fear becomes the voice that decides whether you'll try, speak, move, create, or even dream. The moment fear starts making your decisions, your life starts shrinking. So many people don't live the life they truly want. Not because they don't have the potential, but because they're too afraid. Afraid of failure, afraid of judgment, afraid of rejection, uncertainty, and change. They stay in comfort zones that slowly turn into cages. They take the safe path, not the right path. They avoid risks and then wonder why they feel stuck, unfulfilled, or invisible. Here's the truth. No great life was ever built on fear. Every dream, every success story, every breakthrough you admire happened because someone decided to feel the fear and still act. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's the decision that something else matters more than your fear. When you let fear control you, you avoid opportunities that could change your life. You hold back your voice in conversations where your truth needs to be heard. You say no to chances you secretly want. You let years pass by while telling yourself, maybe someday, but someday doesn't come, and regret starts to take its place. But imagine what your life would look like if fear wasn't making your decisions. What if your choices were based on desire, not doubt? What if you followed your curiosity instead of running from discomfort? What if every time you felt afraid, you said, "This means I'm growing," instead of, "This means I should stop"? That shift in thinking can open doors you didn't even know existed. So how do you stop fear from running your life? First, start noticing when fear is speaking. It often hides behind logic, excuses, or perfectionism. It'll say things like, "Now's not the right time," "What if I fail?" or "I'm not ready." Learn to recognize that voice, and then question it. Ask yourself, what's the worst that can happen? Then ask, what's the best that can happen if I try? Second, take action. Action is the antidote to fear. Even the smallest step forward weakens fear's grip. Send that message. Apply for that job. Start that project. Speak up. You don't have to feel fearless to act. You just have to move with the fear. Third, surround yourself with people who encourage you to be brave. Fear grows louder when you're alone with it. But when you have support, perspective, and people who remind you of your strength, it becomes easier to take bold steps. Lastly, remember, fear may never fully leave you. But that's okay. You don't need to kill fear. You just need to stop obeying it. Let it be there, but don't let it lead. You lead. Your greatest self is waiting on the other side of fear. Don't let fear write your story. Take the pen back. Be the author of a life that's bold, real, and fully lived. Point 8. Stop trying to please everyone. One of the easiest ways to waste your life is by constantly trying to make everyone around you happy. You say yes when you want to say no. You hide your real opinions just to avoid conflict. You stretch yourself thin trying to meet expectations that were never truly yours. And in the process, you lose the most important person in your life, yourself. From childhood, we're taught to be nice, agreeable, polite. But somewhere along the way, that turns into something unhealthy, people-pleasing. And at first, it feels good. When people praise you, accept you like you, it gives you a sense of worth. But soon, it becomes a trap. Because the more you try to please others, the more they expect from you. and the less you can be who you really are. Here's the truth. You cannot make everyone happy. It's impossible. No matter how kind you are, someone will still think you're too quiet. No matter how hardworking you are, someone will say you're not doing enough. If you live your life based on others' opinions, you'll keep shifting, adjusting, performing. Until one day, you look in the mirror and don't even recognize who you are. Your time is limited. Your energy is precious. You weren't born to meet everyone's expectations. You were born to live your truth, walk your path, and grow into your full potential. That can't happen if you're constantly worried about what people think. Some people will misunderstand you. Let them. Some won't like you. That's okay. Your job is not to convince everyone to love you. Your job is to love yourself enough to be real. When you stop trying to please everyone, a powerful thing happens. You become free. You begin to say no without guilt. You start doing things that actually bring you joy. You make room for relationships that are based on truth, not performance. You set boundaries that protect your peace. And in doing all this, you start attracting the right people. The ones who accept you as you are, not as who you pretend to be. This doesn't mean you become rude or selfish. It means you become honest. You speak your truth with kindness. You help when it's from your heart, not out of fear. You learn to balance care for others with care for yourself. So take a moment today and ask yourself, who are you living for? Whose approval are you chasing? And more importantly, what would your life look like if you stopped trying to impress and started trying to express your real self? The world needs your authenticity, not your perfection. Stop dimming your light to make others comfortable. Shine with honesty, walk with confidence, and live with integrity. Because at the end of the day, it's better to be hated for who you are than loved for who you're not. Point 9. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. How often have you caught yourself saying, "I'll start tomorrow," or "I'm waiting for the right time," or "I need to be ready first"? Waiting for the perfect moment is one of the biggest traps that keeps us stuck in the same place. We think if we just wait a little longer, until things are easier, or until we feel more confident, or until conditions seem just right, then everything will fall into place. But here's the truth. The perfect moment rarely comes. Life is messy, uncertain, and full of challenges. If you wait for everything to be perfect, you might wait forever. That dream project, that life change, that new habit, none of it will happen if you keep putting it off for some magical, flawless day in the future. Instead, the only moment you really have is now. Right now. Every successful person you admire didn't wait for perfect conditions. They started with what they had: imperfect knowledge, limited resources, and a lot of doubts. They learned, adapted, and grew along the way. The magic happens when you take action despite fear, uncertainty, or hesitation. Waiting also steals your time and energy. The more you delay, the more self-doubt builds up. You convince yourself that you're not ready, or that you need more time, or that the situation must change first. Meanwhile, your goals get further away, and the perfect moment fades into a distant dream. So, what can you do instead? Make a decision to start small. You don't have to plan everything perfectly or have all the answers. Take one small step today. Write a paragraph, make a phone call, research a topic, or simply commit to trying. Once you start moving, momentum will follow. Action creates clarity and confidence. Also, remember that mistakes and failures are part of the process. They don't mean you waited too soon. They mean you're learning and growing. Every step you take, no matter how small or imperfect, moves you closer to your goal. Most importantly, trust yourself. Trust that you are capable enough to handle whatever comes your way. Trust that you don't need perfect timing to live a meaningful life. The only perfect moment is the one you choose to create with your courage and commitment. So stop waiting. Stop hesitating. Stop searching for permission from the universe or from others. The perfect moment is a myth. The real power is in starting now, with whatever you have, and making your life happen. Point 10. Surround yourself with positive influences. One of the most important yet often overlooked keys to a fulfilling, successful life is the company you keep. The people around you have a profound impact on your mindset, habits, and ultimately your future. Surrounding yourself with positive influences is not just about having friends or colleagues. It's about choosing a tribe that lifts you up, challenges you to grow, and supports your dreams. Think about your daily interactions. Who do you talk to most? Who inspires you? Who brings energy and hope into your life? Now think about the opposite. Are there people who drain your energy, fill your mind with doubt, or hold you back with negativity? It's easy to overlook how much these relationships shape our lives. Negative influences can subtly steal your motivation. When you spend time with people who complain constantly, focus on problems without solutions, or discourage your goals, it becomes harder to believe in yourself. You might start doubting your own abilities or feel stuck in a cycle of pessimism. Over time, this can erode your confidence and push you off your path. On the other hand, positive influences act like fuel for your soul. They encourage you when you're down, celebrate your wins, and inspire you to push beyond your limits. They hold you accountable in a loving way and help you see opportunities instead of obstacles. When you surround yourself with such people, you naturally start adopting their mindset and habits. But it's not just about people. Positive influences can also come from books, podcasts, mentors, or communities that share your values and goals. They remind you why you started and keep you motivated on tough days. They provide wisdom and perspective that help you navigate challenges without losing hope. Changing your environment might feel difficult, especially if you've been stuck in the same circles for a long time. But it's one of the most powerful steps you can take. Start by identifying who or what is holding you back, and make a plan to gradually distance yourself from those negative influences. At the same time, seek out new connections and resources that inspire and support you. Remember, your environment is a reflection of your inner world. If you want to change your life, start by changing the company you keep. Choose positivity. Choose growth. Choose people and places that help you become your best self. Your life is too precious to waste on toxic energy. Surround yourself with those who believe in you, who push you forward, and who make your dreams feel possible. Because when you do, success isn't just a possibility. It becomes an inevitable part of your journey. Remember, your life is the most valuable gift you have. Don't let it slip away in fear, hesitation, or trying to please others. Every moment is a chance to choose purpose, courage, and growth. Start today. Start now. Because your future self will thank you for the decisions you make right here, right now. If this message inspired you, Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more powerful motivation and life-changing tips. Hit the like button, share this video with someone who needs to hear it, and comment below your favorite point or how you plan to take action today. Together, we're building a community of dreamers and doers, people who refuse to waste their lives and choose to live fully, boldly, and with passion. Stay tuned, stay motivated, and keep shining your light. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep pushing forward.